The world of womanhood can be so empowering, inspiring, loving, and nurturing. It's a space that allows us the opportunity to connect, to bond, to be vulnerable and relatable because of our similarities. It's our spirits, our hearts that bring us together, allowing us as individuals to create safe spaces for each other. I was excited to share safe spaces with girls and women, especially those who look like me, brown and beautiful. I was excited to develop relationships with people that I can depend on, have fun with, laugh, cry, and just enjoy life overall with. You see, in my mind and from my experiences, women are a gift, the gift. Our sensuality and sensitivity, our internal and external beauty, our caring and nurturing ways, is entrenched in the fabric of our hearts and the pattern in our fingerprints. You see, being a woman is everything, and connecting with other women was something that I couldn't wait to begin doing as I was maturing in life. But then life did what it does best and life the hell out of me and my experiences with women. I got to see what some would call the dark side. In this case, we will say the shadow side of this state of being, something I always looked forward to as a young girl. Hey faves, welcome to the Vignette Lounge with me here at Love Girl & Co. I am Brittany and I am here to share my personal stories by way of some creative short audio stories. And my goal is to help inspire and encourage women and girls to embrace and enjoy the journey of self-discovery and self-mastery. And even more importantly, to create safe spaces for women and girls to be vulnerable, to feel protected, and to live with tenderness. Now, my disclaimer is I am not a licensed therapist or clinician. These stories are just from my personal experiences and reality. So let's get into it. These series of short stories are created to help with a few things: to look inwardly, to reflect, to contribute to healthy social interactions, and to change the narrative of women and girls in our society. So let's get into it. Welcome to episode 1, The Beautiful Bully, the Shadow Side of Sisterhood. Okay, so let's take it back to the mid-90s when the music was great, fashion was colorful and fun, and all seemed to be well in a young girl's life. You see, I am the youngest of 5 kiddos, and because of that, I spent a lot of time with myself. And I think that's where the comfortability of connecting with myself began. Although I did have friends and was outside a lot during those times, I was never afraid to play by myself. Even though it came easy to me, I still desired to have healthy friendships. You see, back in those days, it was a bit easy to live a life of little pressure because we didn't have things like social media or phones or things of that nature. Instead, we had slumber parties and hot days when running through the sprinkler was the equivalent to sitting on South Beach, and Ugga Ugga Black Booger was recited all day for a good game of hide and seek. Those days brought so much. Watching cartoons and eating cereal made Saturday everything. And the most important decision of my day was whether to stay in or go out. Well, one day my social meter must have been tolerable of company because I decided to go outside. I looked out of the window to see who was out already. Once I peeked out, my heart instantly dropped. My mind was spinning out of control and my facial expression disheveled, similar to the iPhone emoji that we use today. How could a smile go to a frown so quickly, you may wonder? Well, let me tell you. The baddies of all baddies was outside with my friend group. Tanisha was the one girl I couldn't stomach being around, but her forceful energy made us all feel as if we didn't have a choice. She cultivated a toxic environment even amongst 9-year-olds. It was either please or get teased. Now, when I say baddie, I'm not speaking of the 2022-23 term. Nope, I'm talking the baddest, most tyrant kid on the block. And back in 1993, Tanisha was the ultimate baddie. As soon as I stepped outside, not even before I could get to the end of my driveway, roast number 1 came. Girl, what's wrong with your hair? Lolo, say something about her hair. Don't it look ugly? She even made my fellow bestie become her ally in the Britney humiliation haze. Would I have to endure this for the rest of my life? Okay, so I'm sure we've all heard of the word bully. A bully by definition is someone, child or adult, who intentionally causes harm and intimidation to those who they may look at as weak. They go out of their way to ensure that their prey is uncomfortable and others in their company take heed and bow out. Tanisha was indeed our Melgrove Avenue bully. Emotional vulnerability and safe spaces during childhood are very important. During these stages as kids, we are most innocent and curious, looking for that sense of belongingness and protection. As I reflect on my past experiences, the timeline of my life, and how it has impacted me as an adult, one revelation that I faced was that situations that took place back when I was a child ended up contributing to the lack of trust I had with girls and eventually women. Even though we don't fully understand relationships at 9 years old, I was longing to be in spaces where I was uplifted, my feelings were nurtured, and my physical and emotional self were safe. The idea of pure and genuine friendship, even when I didn't always receive it in return, was something that I valued. But admittedly, the experience with Tanisha and her impact slightly tainted my trust with others. So high school and college are in the rearview, and I am officially a grown woman. I was experiencing life as the most beautiful creation that God has created, a woman. With learning a lot in college, building lifelong friendships, joining clubs and a sorority, in my mind, I had everything that I needed to go out and be open to new possibilities and connections. I would say within that post-college era and with joining my sorority, the word sisterhood was just as common as saying one's name. The idea and concept turned into brunches, lunches, and retreats. It was a call of duty. It was the practice of all practices, something that was needed to be a part of as a woman. It was almost as if sisterhood was the cure to all of the challenges the world faced. At 31, I just knew I had the personal and professional skills to cultivate a community of sisterhood, right? All I needed to do was to be authentic, compliment people, be bubbly, and engage in conversations. But it didn't quite happen that way. So let me explain. Most of my challenging experiences happened with women in the workplace. From bullying attempts to the lack of support to late night text arguments and having to stand up for myself, I've had some hurtful situations happen to me from women I thought were supposed to be my sisters and that I really admired. One lady even called me devilish because she thought my colleague and I were speaking negatively about her, when in reality, she was the devilish one. With that situation, I chose to defend myself because projection is real, and a small part of me feels sorry for those who feel the need to wrap others in their insecurities. But I don't feel sorry enough to let anyone disrespect me. The sad reality that I face is that people, specifically women, don't like when you take up for yourself. With this instance, me, although being hurt, having the courage to professionally confront something ended up putting me on the radar, in the middle of the crosshairs, and ultimately impacted by a life-altering move by her, my sister, trying to ruin my character at work so that I could lose my job. So what's the shadow stuff that we mentioned in the beginning of the video? Well, if you aren't familiar, the shadow self on an individual level are parts of ourselves that we keep hidden. It's those things about ourselves that we don't want to face because we look at it as dark or flawed. In reality, it's totally healthy to acknowledge and learn about those parts of yourself so that you can know yourself wholly and create a high level of balance and connection with yourself. My spin on the shadow side of toxic sisterhood and unhealthy friendships and relationships highlights what comes with that. So bitterness, hate, projection, spitefulness, the mean girl mentality, the you can't sit with us, to I'm gonna get you sucker attitudes can lead to tarnished views, harm, or life-threatening encounters. Think of our beautiful sister, Shanquella Robinson. May she rest in peace. But connections can indeed be healthy and positive if we are intentional as individuals to do the work on ourselves so that we are able to connect with each other and create safe spaces for each other as women. Girls, on the other hand, should be encouraged and nurtured at a young age so that they learn to love their authentic selves, which can help with decreased socially challenged behaviors and bullying. Okay, faves, so we've reached the end of story time. And my question to you, based off of my shared experiences and some of your experiences, if any, do you believe that coexisting with other women is all that it's hyped up to be? Do you think that sisterhood is really a thing? Well, my answer to this is absolutely yes. I still believe in the power of genuine friendship and relationship. Despite of our negative experiences, there are still some lovely people out there, lovely women out there to connect with. Some of the lessons that I've learned along the way are to never be afraid to connect with my past to heal. To remember that most times other people's challenges have nothing to do with me. And most importantly, to enjoy the people who are already in my life, people who truly support and love me, and to make sure that I'm reciprocating that energy. Also, never feel bad for standing up for me or standing up for yourself. Operate out of love and forgiveness quickly. Try not to stay in an angry emotion for long. Create boundaries, connect with all parts of yourself, and remember that it's totally okay for you not to be for everyone. Now, at the age of 39, I expect from all of my connections for my feelings to be protected, for me to be uplifted and encouraged, for my physical and emotional self to feel safe, and to have developed and maintained sincere, genuine, and meaningful friendships. Here are a few tips on how you can begin to connect with all parts of you, even the shadow self, so that you are healthy for yourself and healthy to connect with other women. I hope these tips are helpful for you. From journaling and recording your thoughts and feelings, to removing yourself or cutting distractions to enjoy solitude. And most importantly, never be afraid to do the work on yourself because you are deserving of it. So that's the end of our video today. I thank you so much for joining in and watching. I hope that it has brought inspiration to you. And I invite you to join me along this journey of helping women look inwardly, reflecting, of helping to contribute to healthy social interactions and connections, and helping to change the narrative of women and girls in our society. Thanks so much and see you soon.